Hello, my name is Matthew McCready. I am in Art 110, the 9 a.m. class. This is my P3 project. We had to read our book, the Eva and Franco Matisse, and we had to say questions and we have to answer them. So question one is, who was Luther Blisten? I can't pronounce his name, or its name. I don't know. How I took it is that it was a persona created by a bunch of different artists, so they can do certain things and no one would know who they were. And that's Eva and Franco joined this group so they could do certain things. So they would never get caught or no one knew who they were. And then they took it a little bit farther by creating Draco Maviar, who was a persona they created that reported fake murders to the media, and then the media would do reports on them, and so would the newspapers. But eventually they started to catch on that these weren't real murders, so eventually they killed him off. They said he got arrested and then was murdered in jail. So then they killed the persona. And the questions that I think rose in my mind, at least, about these two people that were made is what was it? I have it right here. Hold on. Why be yourself when I can be anyone or anything? That I'm not limited to just this body, that I could create anything and people would believe it. And then also in my mind it kind of raised the question of how stable is the world around us, and how real is everything when it's just all stuff we made up and rules so we could try to keep order. And they're pointing out that it's really all you gotta do is slip a few bricks and the whole thing's gotta come tumbling down. Alright, enough with that question. Let's move on to 4. 4 is, what did Eva and Franco steal? They stole pieces of famous art from all over Europe and America. They were just little pieces, but this was one thing I didn't really like about them. At least in the book, it came off them being very pretentious, thinking that they're kind of better than everybody else, that they deserve this. They deserve these pieces more than anybody. That could be how the book was written. I'm not really sure. I don't know Eva and Franco. It just sat funny with me. Maybe if I knew more about it, I'd feel differently about it. And then I feel like this theft art that they're talking about in this book, they're trying to say something about art that it hasn't been defined yet, and also that it isn't is art a private thing or just it's for the public. And for me, I believe art is more of a public thing, that everyone should be able to see it. It's something beautiful. It's to express yourself, so you could show people that you don't have to talk about whatever you drew. You just you put the painting out there, or whatever you did, and it makes it great. On to question 6. Eva and Franco made fake newspapers and fake movie posters. They did this just as a joke to see if people would actually buy it, and a lot of people did. A lot of people thought there was actual movies out of the United We Stand, and that the Iraq War was over, and stuff like that. And that's stuff that I really like to do. I've done stuff kinda like that, like tricking a bunch of people and believing something. It's interesting that how easily people are tricked, and that's art, at least what I think. That's a type of art. On to question 7. What is ArtNet? ArtNet is their website. That's where it's where they do all their stuff. They make all their things, so they produce their viruses, so they can show their art all around the world, stuff like that. That's what I think it is, at least. And then to 8, compare what Eva and Franco did to their 2001 piece, Life Sharing, to the way people use internet in 2011. I think what they're trying to point out, what they pointed out big time, is that when they did this, they were sharing all the information they have about them on their computer to everybody. And how people do it in 2011 is like through Facebook. You can find countless amounts of information about people on Facebook really, really easily. I gotta move through this quick. I'm taking a long time. 9. Their portrayals on Second Life. Their avatars are really, really realistic to what they are. I feel why they're doing this. They're just trying to go against the grain. They're just trying to be different. And I feel like, I don't know, it's kind of pretentious. At least that's how the book presented it. I did watch the interview on the website. They don't seem very pretentious people, but the book kind of presenting them like, oh, we're doing this because it's different, because everyone makes their avatar different, but that's the fun part about making a different person, is that they aren't you. Alright, and then the last question is about the Nike thing, and what they're kind of showing is that corporations have huge influences over culture, big time, about a lot of people. Like they stated, like the Nike swoosh is probably one of the most recognized symbols in the world over almost any religious symbol, and that's kind of shocking and a little disturbing that a bunch of people that are just doing like a job or a corporation has so much control over our culture. And I think they were trying to point it out with the stunt they did with the Nike ground. And I don't think that the library should change the name to the Starbucks library. Why? I really don't like corporations. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think anything should have, but it shouldn't be named like the Starbucks library. I don't think that's right. It's a university thing. It should just be called a library than the university library, because that's what it is. And that pretty much wraps everything up. I hope you liked the video, and yep, that's all. Thank you.